company and who you get your internet from and say, you know what, I'm working from home. My kids are doing, a lot of school work at home. We don't have one device anymore. We've got 10 devices and they're all streaming at once and it's so slow. They're like, oh, well, let me sell you the faster, speed for this a month. So you upgrade, you pay and you're like, you know what, this is the exact same speed. So here's what you need. You need the highest end equipment. Do you have the router and the modem that you originally got? A lot of times they're two different pieces, a router and a modem. This is from Netgear, which is the very high end in this space of modem router combos. So what you're getting is something that you own for $149.99. Instead of paying the cable company to rent a modem separately, you're paying that in perpetuity to rent it, and a router separately, so a modem rental, a router rental, month after month after month after month, and what you're renting is just their basic equipment from 10 years ago. What you're getting is 29 times faster than the standard consumer router. I'm gonna say that again, 29 times faster. No monthly fee, one-time purchase. And if you get this home and don't love it and it's not a game changer, you can send it back. You'll know within a minute, you'll know right away. But let's get all the information from one of our favorite electronic experts. It's Joe Harrison, graduate of The Ohio State University, who's going to give us all the details. So Joe, a lot of times we call the cable company and we say we want faster internet. They are more than happy to raise our monthly rate and tell us that we're getting faster internet, aren't they?
Oh, you're right. They're 100% happy to do that. Yeah. But then you said it perfectly. Do they come out and change the equipment? Like, is the equipment that was installed in your house, the first time the cable company gave you wireless access to your house, is it still in there? And you think about, do I need to upgrade my router? If you haven't upgraded your router since the beginning of the pandemic, you're using old technology. And this is leaps and bounds over anything that was created over the last 3 years. Definitely leaps and bounds over anything created in the last decade, because the most common router in America is actually this one right here. It was created in 2011. This is what your router looks like. Oh my gosh, I don't know how you survived on it. This operates at 54 megabytes of speed. This operates at 1,600 megabytes of speed. That's 29 times faster. That means web pages are gonna load up faster. When you're watching Netflix and Hulu, movies are gonna load faster for you. Accessing your video doorbells and cameras will load quicker because you now have a device that is really properly giving you the right amount of power that you need, 29 times faster. And these old routers, they're only designed to talk to one device at a time. This is designed now to talk to more than a dozen devices at a time, because there are multiple antennas in here, so that way your kids can be online. Like my son, he loves playing his Xbox. My daughter loves being on Snapchat and YouTube. My wife and I are just trying to watch a movie. We can all do it now at the same time with no hourglass and no hesitation. Now, why do we call this an all-in-one? Well, from your cable company, there's two boxes you normally get. The first one is the modem. This is what plugs in from the wall. It unscrambles the signal, so now you can send the signal throughout the entire house. The second piece is your router. That's what actually sends the signal throughout the entire house. Now on your bill, you're probably getting an equipment charge. And for my cable company, they were charging $8 a piece for each one of these, $16 a month to get old technology. This one device, your all-in-one, replaces both of them. And this works with every major cable company that's out there. If you have Spectrum, if you have Xfinity, if you have Cox, it doesn't matter who you've got. All you have to do, Helen, this is the simple install. You unplug that modem, and there's a little cable line that comes out of the wall. You then plug it in the back of that. You just screw it in. You screw in that coaxial cable. You physically set up your modem. That's all you have to do. The next thing you need to do, you download the app. You download the app so you can add your password to it. You can put parental controls on there. There's extra levels of security on that, and that's it. So it's 2 steps. Each step will take maybe 5 minutes each, and then instantly, like you mentioned, Helen, this is not something 10 minutes, a month down the road, 6 months down the road. Instantly, you will see those faster speeds now having 29 times faster, all because you did a simple change on your router.
Yeah, and again, 5 FlexPay, Customer Appreciation Month, we're doing free shipping and handling, so I would put down $30 and get it home. Now, those of you who are watching this presentation saying, you know what, my internet's really fast, like I don't have it, then I wouldn't spend the money. Honestly, if your internet's perfect, I wouldn't bother. But if you're like, oh my gosh, is this streaming? And then we're like, when is it gonna start? And it starts, and then it does something called buffering, and then you can't, maybe you're on your computer and you can't flip around, and maybe you have a newer computer. I mean, it's one thing if you have a computer from 20 years ago, but if you've got a computer in the last few years, it should be lightning fast. It really should be. And the internet, you know, originally when this equipment came into your house, Joe, most people didn't have a smart TV. Not even a smart TV in the bedroom and the living room. They didn't even have, there's no such thing. It was only for your laptop that you had the internet, right? Not for 4 cell phones, 3 smart TVs, and all, you know, we have a system for the temperature in our house that also goes through the Wi-Fi,
the internet,
right? I mean, I can't even.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The average house has 27 different devices connected to it.
I think we have 28.
Average. And you think, well, you start thinking about, like, we're a family of 4. Each of us has a cell phone that connects to the internet, so that's 4 right there. Each of us have a tablet, well, that's another 4. Each of us have a laptop, because everybody needs a computer nowadays, so that's 12 devices right there. But then earlier you showed there's the Fire Stick. How many of those media streamers, whether it's a Fire Stick, it's a Roku, is it Apple TV, how many of those do you have in your house? Do you have an Alexa? Do you have a Google Home? You start adding up, and then so many smart things in your house that are connected to the internet. And this truly is the lifeblood of all that technology in your home. Because there's a great computer that's coming up. I know Aaron was talking about that Chromebook that he has coming up. But the problem that a lot of people don't realize, that Chromebook's going to be fast. That new computer, it's designed to be fast, but it can only be as fast as what's feeding the internet speed.
Exactly.
And if you're relying on something, you know, going back to this, Helen, this is from 2011. It operates at 54 megabytes of speed. Your computer, your 2022 computer, can only be as fast as your 2011 router. That's why when you step up and you get the wireless AC, now it operates not at 54 megabytes of speed, but 1,600 megabytes of speed. Think about like miles an hour car. This is now 29 times faster. But the other thing it has too, this has something called beamforming. And for a lot of us, we're walking around the house, maybe you're sitting on the couch, you're thumbing through your tablet or on your phone or on your laptop, and then you get up and you start walking around the house, and then you lose the signal because there are these dead zones. Well, this router is designed that once it sees a device that's connected, it sends a stronger beam to it. So it gives you the ability to walk around the entire house and still be connected. And even if you have that smart TV that's over on the wall there or over in the back room, it sees it and it sends a stronger beam to it. So when you're watching Netflix, when you're watching Hulu, you don't lose the signal. And the great thing about having a company like Netgear, these guys are truly the experts in it, have been doing this for decades now. They're the #1 home networking company in America right now. Amazing tech support. I know we just flashed the phone number that's on there. A lot of people get concerned when I get this at home. Can I really do this? Because I'm used to calling or used to having my cable company come in. Once you physically put it in place, and all you do is replace this old equipment, there's one cable you have to screw in. So unscrew the old, screw it into the new, and then that phone number, if you have any questions, that's just for HSN customers. So Helen, in the next 90 days, call as many times as you want. They will walk you through to make sure you're getting those speeds that you're paying for. Because if you're paying for high-speed internet, but you have 10-year-old router sending it, you're not getting high speed. Wait till you plug this in, and now, Helen, you really see how fast the internet can be.
You know, I just thought of 3 more things that are on Wi-Fi while you were talking, Joe. I think about my Arlo, like the security cameras. Yeah, and I think, oh yeah, that actually goes through that as well. That's the same system that's going through like how fast I'm watching my Netflix and that sort of thing. Also, I want you to think about technology. I want to think about the cell phone that you're using right now. Is it the same cell phone you had 10 years ago? Do you even remember what the features were like 10 years ago? Did you text by pushing the 2 button 3 times to get to the letter C? Right. And then you know what I mean? The number 5, you have to press 3 times to get to the different letters. Who texts like that anymore? That seems like a million years ago. If you have a 10-year-old router, the one that the cable company, and by the way, if you just got cable last week and they brought a router over, that doesn't mean it's the latest equipment. That doesn't mean it's this level, okay? Just because you might have gotten cable or moved in the last year or so, they didn't like go to the back and go, oh, we're bringing it over to so-and-so's house. We better bring them the fancy stuff. They're gonna bring you the least expensive thing that they can. And then they're going to charge you a monthly fee that you're paying for forever. If you think about it, Joe, how much do they charge? Like $10, $12 a month?
So for me, mine is $8 a month per device. So between the 2 devices, that's $16 a month. So in less than a year, I could actually get newer technology that's 29 times faster, and I own it. You don't have to pay for it over and over again. But when you were talking about the cable company coming out to the house, you're right. They don't give you the best equipment. Like, they give you the bare minimums to be able to give you those speeds. Like, this one has something called dual band. Most routers are single band, meaning there's like, imagine a single road. Whether you're coming or going, there's a single lane, and that's all you can do. This one actually has 2 bands. So now whether you're coming or going, it doesn't matter. It can support that because it's upgraded to dual band technology. Cable companies don't want to give you that because it's more expensive. That beamforming technology we talked about, where it sees that once a device is connected, it stays connected and sends a beam. So as you're walking around the house, now you're constantly connected, so you don't have to worry about dead zones anymore. How many of us have that one part of the house where I don't get any internet signal, or I start walking around and I lose it? It doesn't handle it all. Or did you buy something that's 4K? Do you have a 4K TV that you're watching Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu? Sometimes when you're watching those regular high definition movies, it's pretty good. But when you switch over to 4K, which is a more detailed movie, that means your TV needs more internet speed. And you try watching 4K content, you can't watch it at all because you're relying on something that's probably 5, 10 years old. And if you're thinking, do I really need to upgrade my router? If you haven't upgraded it since the beginning of the pandemic, this is newer technology for you. If you've upgraded 5 years ago or 10 years ago, this is going to be a world of difference. And it's not just for your laptops. Helen, you were talking about the Arlo cameras. I have some Arlo, I have some Ring cameras, and it used to be on my older equipment. It used to take a long time for that video to load. It's because my router can only process so much. But now when I have a router that's 29 times faster, I bring up my cameras and they pop up on my device because I'm not waiting for my router anymore. This is designed not only for today, but wait until you see what you start buying over the next couple of years. You don't have to worry about upgrading your router because this is designed to handle for the future. Not only, Helen, can we handle dozens of devices now at the same time, but it really is that 29 times speed that's really going to make a difference.
4K TV, or you get like a solid state drive Chromebook that we have in the show. You're getting these higher end things, but you're going, wait a minute, it's still slow. It is your modem and your router. This, by the way, is both. This is a modem and router all-in-one. Like we have all-in-one computers, they have all-in-one. I wonder if your cable company asked you, do you want to get one device, a modem router? Do you want this high-end? Or they probably just came over and said, here's yours. They didn't even, they probably didn't even ask you.
You're right.
This is what they do. Here's your 2 things that you need to pay a monthly fee for forever. So $149.99. I love that there's a designated phone number 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for when you get it. You're going to have 90 days to call in to say, okay, where do I plug it in? And it's very simple, but that doesn't mean that everyone instinctually will know how to do it. So that's why there's help.
Well, it's really nice because when you think about adding technology, sometimes it can be intimidating. And there really is just one cable on that backside. It's that coax cable, the technology that's been around for 40, 50 years. All you need to do is unplug it from your old modem and then plug it right in there. That's physically all you need to do. And I love that the modem itself, it's not like going to be some ugly eyesore. If you have this sitting up on a desk or on a shelf, no one's going to think, wow, what is that? It's just going to blend in with your decor. Now, as soon as you physically get that in place, you do need to download the app. The app is very simple too. The reason why, you want to put a password on there. You want to protect it. There's also some updated security features that are on there. But in less than 5 minutes, you are up and running. And then Helen, really, in 2 seconds, you're going to see how fast the internet really should be.
Yeah, 2 seconds, you're gonna see how fast it is, for sure. Joe, this presentation flew by. We were very busy on the phone lines. It's very popular. I think that everyone is thinking it's not just what they have right now, it's what they're gonna get. How things are changing so quickly, and how it's interesting how this one kind of piece of the puzzle hasn't kept up with all the other advances, and very small price to pay, considering how much we spend on those fancy TVs and our fancy cell phones and our security systems and our home, you know, temperature control systems and all that. So Joe, thank you so much, as always, bringing us great products.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
Bye, Joe. All right. All right, now that you've got your Wi-Fi taken care of, we're gonna jump in over to a